are not going to forgive him for this position.
It's a dictatorship.
Yeah.
There is nothing groovy about a dictatorship.
Yeah, I mean, it's like...
It's just nothing good about a dictatorship.
But doesn't
for journalists, for anybody, I mean, wherever it is in the world, we bitched at people for getting next to people who were saying, oh, you know, it's not so bad. It is bad.
Yeah. But doesn't it concern you that, I mean, and again, this isn't, I think for Republicans in particular, the trying to sort of reanimate, reestablish what socialism means. People are always saying, oh, but it's like Europe, it's like Sweden. But the problem is he's saying things like Castro did some good things. He also defended Maduro, Venezuela's strongman, a dictator, and he wouldn't say whether or not he considered Juan Guaido, excuse me, the legitimate leader of the country. So he's going around saying that like these oppressive socialist dictators are pretty good guys.
But it should concern Republicans that Trump is in bed with dictators also, and they're trying to turn his country into a dictatorship. That's the real problem. Let's not lose sight of that.
But you can't whataboutism this. Like, you just can't. Because, again, my problem right now is that I've heard, rightfully so, Democrats for the past 3.5 years saying what you're saying.
Yes.
Dictatorships are bad. His coziness with Putin, blah, blah, blah. But I thought that your party was supposed to be better than this then. And, again, there's
so did most Democrats.
So did most Democrats. Fair enough. But if you're talking about how Maduro's a good guy, Castro did some good things, for me, it's no different than saying, like, hey, Hitler was a good orator. It's that insane. It's that bad.
How about Mussolini let the trains run on time?
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yes.
It sounds insane.
And I think that's...
Sorry, but say that one more time. I'm sorry.
They said that Mussolini made the trains run on time, but meanwhile, they were rounding up Jews and killing people in Italy at the time. Well, so, no, that's not a good thing.
And that's why I think in the debate tonight, we're going to hear this. We're going to hear it over and over and over again. We should also hear, I think, about his NRA record. I think we should also hear about how he's going to pay for Medicare.
Right.
You know, he is the front runner now, but these are real
But to not care
questions.
about Florida and Cubans in Florida and Cuban Americans in Florida is particularly...
But he said they were bad guys. He said Fidel was a bad guy. All he was saying was there's this one thing that they did. And American voters don't understand nuance. They hear communism.
There's no way around that. This is as bad as you know who's saying there were good people on both sides. It's the same thing. There's no way to get...
I don't agree.
Oh, I do. Once you start saying, well, you know, Hitler wasn't so bad because
But he didn't say that.
But no, he didn't say that. But to a Cuban person, it's just as bad.
I agree.
It's
Cuban
just as bad. Cuban refugees who lost everything in Cuba because of Castro. Yeah, it's as bad. It's as bad.
You can't allow out his literacy program and not highlight the fact that he's a
We're all on the same page with this. What a day.
Yes.
He's dead now. Fidel is dead.
He is dead.
Fidel is dead. His brother will be dead soon. The whole thing is going to change very soon.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope so. The world is still reacting to the death of Cuban dictator Fidel Castro, who died on Friday at 90. Now, Cubans are either dancing in the streets in Miami or they're crying in the streets in Cuba itself. Now, some critics are saying President Obama should have come out harder against the brutality of Castro's regime in his statement. Do you think he should have said, after just getting the doors open, allowing for people to go, see family, do stuff, do you think he should have said, and you're a bonehead, or was this the proper way to deal with this, given all of this? Well, you know, you can.
I think you have to call
I listen to you, and I'm saying, diplomatically, if you're trying to keep... I'm sorry, baby. If you're trying to keep the lines of communication open and you're trying to keep a flow going, I think that's the way you do it.
I went to Cuba last April, and it's interesting. I mean, they have a 100% literacy rate there, so everybody gets a free education. Everybody has top-of-the-line medical care, so everyone's healthy.
Top of the line.
Pretty good.
I feel like, okay, he said, yeah, man is dead. The Cuban people who are there are mourning him. They are mourning him. A lot of those people, a lot of them are mourning him.
And they're still under a dictatorship.
They're under a dictatorship.
Let's be clear.
But that's the point.
But look what's happening with the Cuban people who fled that regime. They're celebrating. They're in Little Havana celebrating.
But they're not here celebrating. That's my point. My point is they are there. Wait up. They are there. You know, and he is talking to the people of Cuba. Wait. I'm not arguing about whether he's a monster or not.
Right.
I'm saying to you that what Obama did was what a president is supposed to do.
Not in my opinion.
I understand that.
The people who fled Cuba were in good shape in those days. They had jobs, they were doctors, they were middle-class people.
If Obama is being the statesman that he is, you have to think as a leader of the people that are there now.
Yes.
And I suspect
that's my
what
point.
he was thinking.
But I think what the president was doing was not to poop on the people who are mourning him back there. Like Elian Gonzalez says he was a father figure to me. We can't understand that, but we don't live there.